Captain Jake Morrison walked slowly across the bridge of the UHS Dominion. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor as he moved toward the main viewing window. Outside, he could see stars scattered across the black space like tiny diamonds. But Jake was not looking at the stars. He was thinking about what his ship could do. The Dominion was huge. It stretched 15 kilometers from front to back. Most alien ships were only a few hundred meters long. The Council had told humans they could only build small ships with weak weapons. They said humans were too new to the galaxy to have strong ships. But humans had found a way around those rules. Dr. Lisa Kane stood next to a control panel checking numbers on her screen. She was the chief engineer and the smartest person Jake knew. Her brown hair was tied back and she wore the blue uniform of the human Space Force. Lisa had helped design the Dominion. She had made it possible. Captain Morrison, Lisa said, looking up from her screen. All systems are working perfectly. The star containment field is stable. We are ready for the test, Jake nodded. Inside the Dominion was a real star. Not a big one, but a star nonetheless. The aliens used complicated energy sources that Jake did not understand. Humans had done something different. They had caught a small star and put it inside their ship. The star gave them more power than any alien ship had ever had. The Council thinks we followed their rules, Jake said. They said we could not have weapons that made more than a certain amount of energy per cubic meter. They never said we could not make our ship bigger. Lisa smiled. Much bigger. Our main weapon uses the star's energy. When we fire it, the beam will be stronger than anything the galaxy has seen. Admiral Ryan Torres appeared on the communication screen. He was back on Earth in the command center. His gray hair and serious face made him look like someone who had seen many battles. Ryan had been fighting for human rights in the galaxy for 3 years. Captain Morrison, Admiral Torres said, Earth Command has approved the test. You may proceed to the target area. Show the galaxy what humans can build. Jake looked at his crew. Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter sat at the weapon station. Alex was young but very good at his job. He understood how to use the Dominion's weapons better than anyone. Commander Beth Palmer worked at the communications station. She listened to alien messages and helped Jake understand what was happening in the galaxy. Set course for the Kepler mining sector, Jake ordered. Maximum speed. The Dominion began to move. Its engines pushed the massive ship forward through space. Other ships moved like small fish. The Dominion moved like a whale. Slow but powerful. Dr. Kane explained to Jake how the main weapon worked. We focus the star's energy into a single beam. The beam comes out through the front of the ship. It can destroy almost anything. How powerful is it? Jake asked. Very powerful, Lisa said. The aliens make weapons that can break through ship armor. Our weapon can destroy entire moons. Jake felt excited and worried at the same time. Humans had built something incredible. But with great power came great responsibility. He hoped they would use this power wisely. The Kepler mining sector had been a human mining operation. Humans had found valuable minerals in the asteroids there. But pirates had attacked the miners. The Galactic Council had said they could not help. They called the attacks unavoidable losses. The human miners had to leave and their equipment was destroyed. Why are we going there? Alex asked. To test our weapons, Jake replied, and to send a message. The galaxy needs to know that humans will not be pushed around anymore. Commander Palmer received a message from the Council. She looked worried as she read it. Captain, the Council is asking about our ship. They want to know where we are going. Tell them we are conducting a training exercise, Jake said. That is not a lie. We are training. The Dominion traveled for several hours. When they reached the Kepler mining sector, Jake was surprised. The asteroid field was not empty. There were ships moving between the asteroids. 17 ships, all carrying the markings of the Zephyrian Corsairs. Pirates, Alex said, checking his sensors. The same ones who attacked our miners. Jake felt angry. The pirates were still there, taking minerals that belonged to humans. They were operating under Council protection. Senator Crathmore of the Galactic Security Committee was getting money from the pirates. Everyone knew it, but no one could prove it. They think they are safe, Jake said. They think humans are weak. Dr. Kane powered up the main weapon system. The star inside the ship began to burn brighter. Energy flowed through the ship's systems like water through pipes. The weapon charged slowly, building power. The pirates are sending us a message, Commander Palmer said. They want us to leave. They say we will face consequences if we stay. Jake laughed. Consequences? They have no idea what consequences look like. The largest pirate ship was 3 kilometers long. It had thick armor and strong weapons. In normal space battles, it would be very dangerous. But this was not a normal space battle. Target the large ship, Jake ordered. Full power. Alex locked onto the target. His hands moved quickly over the controls. Target locked, Captain. Ready to fire. Fire! The Dominion's main weapon activated. A beam of pure star energy shot out from the front of the ship. The beam hit the pirate ship and kept going. The ship did not just explode. It disappeared. The energy was so strong that it created a small star that burned for 6 seconds before dying out. The other pirate ships turned and ran away as fast as they could. They had never seen anything like the Dominion's weapon. In one shot, humans had destroyed their strongest ship completely. Message sent, Jake said quietly. But Jake knew this was only the beginning. The pirates would tell others what they had seen. Soon the entire galaxy would know about the Dominion. The Council would not be happy. Humans had just changed the balance of power in space, and there would be consequences. Dr. Kane checked her instruments. Weapon system is working perfectly. No damage to the ship. We can fire again whenever we need to. Jake nodded. The Dominion was ready for whatever came next. Humans had built the most powerful warship in the galaxy. Now they had to deal with the results of their success. The news of what happened at Kepler mining sector spread across the galaxy faster than light. Every space station, every planet, every ship heard about the human vessel that had made a pirate ship disappear with one shot. Some aliens were scared. Others were curious. All of them were talking about humans. Captain Jake Morrison stood in his ready room, reading reports that Commander Beth Palmer had brought him. The Galactic Council was in emergency session. Senators from 40 different species were arguing about what to do with humans. Some wanted to destroy Earth. Others wanted to study human technology. A few brave ones suggested that maybe humans should be treated as equals. The Council is very upset, Beth said, sitting across from Jake's desk. They are calling our weapon illegal. They say we broke the peace treaties. Jake put down the reports and looked at Beth. Did we break any treaties? No, sir. We followed every rule they gave us. We just followed them in a way they did not expect. Dr. Lisa Kane entered the ready room. She looked tired but excited. Captain, I have been studying the weapon's performance. The energy output was even higher than we calculated. We could probably destroy a small moon if we needed to. Let us hope we never need to. Jake replied. Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter's voice came over the communication system. Captain Morrison to the bridge. We have received a distress call. Jake hurried to the bridge with Lisa and Beth following behind him. Alex was studying his screen with a worried expression. Captain, the distress call is from New Geneva Colony. They are under attack by pirates. The same pirates from Kepler? Jake asked. No, sir. Different ones. The Hegemony Raiders. They have 12 ships and are demanding that the colonists give them all their food and medicine. Jake felt angry again. Pirates kept attacking human colonies because they thought humans were weak. The Galactic Council always said they could not help. They claimed that human space was too far away from Council patrol routes. How long to reach New Geneva? Jake asked. 6 hours at maximum speed, Alex replied. Set course. Maximum speed. The Dominion turned toward New Geneva and accelerated. Jake knew they would arrive too late to prevent damage, but they could make sure the pirates never attacked humans again. As the ship traveled through space, Jake received a message from Admiral Torres. The Admiral's face appeared on the main screen. He looked worried but proud. Jake, the Council has sent us an official complaint. They say we are disturbing galactic peace. Senator Veltar of the Altarian Hegemony is coming to Earth with demands. What kind of demands? Jake asked. They want us to dismantle the Dominion. They say it is too dangerous to exist. Jake laughed, but there was no humor in it. They had no problem with pirates having dangerous weapons. But when humans build something powerful, suddenly it is too dangerous. That is politics, Jake. Be careful. The Council has more ships than we do. If they decide to fight us, it will be a difficult war. We will deal with that when it happens, Jake said. Right now, human colonists need our help. The Dominion dropped out of faster-than-light travel near New Geneva. Jake could see the planet on the main screen. It was a beautiful world with blue oceans and green continents. Around the planet, 12 pirate ships were firing on the small space station that protected the colony. The colony's defense ships are badly damaged, Alex reported. 3 ships destroyed, 2 more losing power. The pirates are preparing to land troops on the planet. Jake studied the tactical display. The hegemony raiders were using old but effective ships. Each one had thick armor and strong weapons. In a normal fight, they would be very dangerous opponents, but the Dominion was not normal. "Open a channel to the pirate ships," Jake ordered. Commander Palmer worked at her station. "Channel open, Captain." "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the UHS Dominion. You are attacking human citizens. Leave this system immediately or face the consequences." The pirate response came quickly. The voice was rough and filled with contempt. "Human ship, you are outnumbered 12 to 1. Your people will surrender or die. We do not fear your threats." "That was not a threat," Jake replied calmly. "That was a warning. You have 30 seconds to begin leaving this system." The pirates laughed over the communication channel. One of their ships fired a missile at the Dominion. The missile hit the ship's shields and exploded harmlessly. The pirates had weapons that could hurt normal ships. Against the Dominion shields, their weapons were like throwing rocks at a mountain. "Alex, target the lead pirate ship," Jake ordered. "Minimum power." "Minimum power, sir?" Alex asked, confused. "We do not want to destroy the planet by accident." Alex set the weapon to its lowest setting. Even at minimum power, the weapon was incredibly strong. He locked onto the largest pirate ship and waited for orders. Fire. The beam of star energy shot out from the Dominion. It hit the pirate ship and cut it in half. The two pieces of the ship drifted apart, lifeless and dark. The other 11 pirate ships stopped moving. They had never seen a weapon that could cut through their strongest ship so easily. "This is your final warning," Jake said over the communication channel. "Leave now." The remaining pirate ships turned and ran. They activated their fastest engines and disappeared into space. Jake knew they would tell other pirates what they had seen. Word would spread that humans were no longer easy targets. "Colony reports all pirate ships have left the system," Beth said. "They are requesting permission to thank us personally." "Tell them they are welcome," Jake replied. "But we cannot stay long. We have other business to attend to." Dr. Kane checked the weapon systems. "All systems normal, Captain." "No damage from the firing," Jake nodded. The Dominion had passed another test. But he knew the real tests were coming. The Galactic Council would not ignore what had happened. They would have to respond somehow. The question was whether they would try to talk or try to fight. "Set course for Earth," Jake ordered. "The Council is sending Senator Veltar to meet with our leaders. I think they will want to see what we are capable of." As the Dominion began its journey back to human space, Jake thought about what they had accomplished. 2 pirate fleets had learned not to attack humans. But more importantly, the galaxy had learned that humans were not helpless. They had built something that could protect their people and their colonies. Jake looked at the stars outside the viewing window. Somewhere out there, senators and admirals were making plans about what to do with humans. Some of those plans would probably involve war. But humans were ready for whatever came next. They had the Dominion, and they had the will to use it. Senator Veltar of the Altarian hegemony arrived at Earth 3 days after the New Geneva incident. His ship was beautiful and elegant, like most alien vessels. It landed at the Human Space Command headquarters in Geneva, where President Nathan Cross and Defense Secretary Carol Hughes were waiting to meet him. Captain Jake Morrison watched the meeting from the bridge of the Dominion. The ship was orbiting Earth, ready to respond if the talks went badly. Admiral Torres had asked Jake to stay close to home until they knew what the Council wanted. Senator Veltar was tall and thin, with blue skin and large black eyes. He wore flowing robes that marked his high rank in the Council. When he spoke, his voice was calm but firm. He was not here to negotiate. He was here to deliver an ultimatum. "President Cross," Senator Veltar began, "the Galactic Council has reviewed the recent actions of your military vessel. We have determined that the ship known as the Dominion represents a clear threat to galactic peace and stability." President Cross was a former military officer who had fought in Earth's last war. He was not easily intimidated. "Senator, our ship defended human colonies from pirate attacks. I fail to see how protecting our citizens threatens galactic peace." "Your weapon destroyed those ships completely," Senator Veltar replied. "No debris was left. No survivors could be rescued. This level of destruction violates the Council's principles of proportional response." Defense Secretary Hughes leaned forward in her chair. "The pirates were warned multiple times to leave. They chose to ignore those warnings. Our response was appropriate to the threat they posed." Senator Veltar's expression did not change. "Nevertheless, the Council has reached its decision. The ship must be dismantled immediately. All weapon systems must be removed and destroyed. The crew must be disbanded and forbidden from building similar vessels. President Cross stood up from his chair. And if we refuse? Then Earth will face complete economic sanctions. All trade with Council species will end. All human ships will be banned from Council space. Your colonies will receive no protection or assistance from Council forces. Jake listened to the conversation and felt his anger growing. The Council had never protected human colonies. They had always said that human space was too far away for their patrol ships. Now they were threatening to remove protection that had never existed. Dr. Lisa Kane was working at her engineering station on the bridge. Captain, I am detecting something interesting. My sensors show 17 different species have begun secret weapons programs in the last week. They are all trying to copy our technology. Can they succeed? Jake asked. Not easily. They are still thinking in terms of exotic matter and energy matrices. They do not understand that our approach is based on simple physics and brute force engineering. Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter looked up from his tactical station. Captain, I am receiving reports from our intelligence network. The Council fleet is mobilizing. 27 ships are moving toward the outer edge of human space. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. If the Council was moving military ships toward human territory, they were preparing for war. The economic sanctions were just the beginning. Commander Beth Palmer intercepted a coded transmission from Admiral Torres. Captain, Earth Command wants you to know that Senator Veltar has given President Cross 24 hours to respond to the ultimatum. If we refuse, the Council will take military action. Jake thought carefully about their situation. The Dominion was powerful, but it was only one ship. The Council had thousands of vessels scattered across the galaxy. In a prolonged war, humanity would face overwhelming odds. But Jake also knew something the Council did not understand. Humans were very good at fighting when their backs were against the wall. They had proven that throughout their history on Earth. Now they might have to prove it again among the stars. Lisa, how long would it take to build another ship like the Dominion? Jake asked. With the plans we already have, about 2 years, Lisa replied. But we would need resources and shipyards that Earth does not currently possess. What about smaller ships with similar technology? Much faster. We could build 10 ships with half the Dominion's firepower in 6 months. Jake nodded. That was good information to have. If war came, humanity would need more than one powerful ship to survive. President Cross's response to Senator Veltar was broadcast across the galaxy. Jake watched as the president stood before the cameras in the Geneva headquarters. Behind him, the flags of Earth's nations and colonies flew side by side. Senator Veltar, I have discussed your demands with the leaders of Earth and our colonies. Our response is simple: no. We will not dismantle our ship. We will not surrender our right to defend ourselves. Humanity has followed every law and regulation the Council provided. We have harmed no innocent people. We have only protected our own citizens from criminals and pirates. Senator Veltar's reply was immediate and cold. Then you have chosen war, President Cross. The Council will respond accordingly. Jake knew that war was now inevitable. The Council could not allow humans to keep a ship as powerful as the Dominion. It would encourage other species to build their own superweapons. The careful balance of power that had kept the galaxy stable for thousands of years would collapse. But Jake also knew that the Council was making a mistake. They thought of humans as a young, weak species that could be easily controlled. They had not bothered to study human history. They did not understand how humans fought when they were threatened. Alex, send a message to all human colonies and outposts, Jake ordered. Tell them to prepare for war. Tell them to recall all civilian ships and activate their defense systems. Message sent, Captain. Dr. Kane looked up from her instruments. Captain, I am detecting a massive energy buildup in Council space. They are assembling a fleet unlike anything they have used before. This will not be a small patrol force. This will be a full military invasion. Jake stared out at the stars. Somewhere in that darkness, alien fleets were preparing to attack Earth and every human colony. The Council thought they could crush humanity quickly and decisively. They were about to learn that humans did not surrender easily. Set course for the edge of human space, Jake ordered. If the Council wants a war, we will give them one. But we will fight it on our terms, not theirs. The Dominion turned away from Earth and began its journey toward the frontier. Behind them, Earth's shipyards were working around the clock to build more vessels. Ahead of them, The largest fleet in galactic history was preparing to destroy everything humans had built among the stars. Jake knew the odds were against them, but humans had faced impossible odds before and survived. They would find a way to survive this too. The Dominion would make sure of that. The Council fleet arrived at New Geneva Colony exactly 48 hours after President Cross rejected their ultimatum. Captain Jake Morrison watched from the bridge of the Dominion as 47 alien warships took positions around the human colony. It was the largest military force the galaxy had seen in over 1,000 years. Admiral Zyphtos of the Hegemony commanded the Council fleet from his flagship, a massive vessel called the Unity's Blade. The ship was 3 kilometers long and carried weapons that could destroy entire cities. Around it, ships from 12 different species formed a battle formation that had never been defeated in the Council's 3,000-year history. Colonel Sam Mitchell commanded the Colonial Defense Force on New Geneva. He was a tough veteran who had turned mining equipment into weapons and cargo ships into fighters. His voice came over the communication system, calm despite the impossible odds he faced. Captain Morrison, we have 17 mining lasers converted to defensive weapons. We also have 22 cargo haulers that we have turned into attack ships. It is not much against a Council fleet, but we will fight. Jake felt proud of the Colonel's courage. Humans always found ways to fight even when they had no real weapons. Colonel Mitchell, hold your position. Help is coming. The Dominion moved toward New Geneva at maximum speed. Dr. Lisa Kane monitored the ship's systems from her engineering station.
Captain, our weapons are charged and ready.
But 47 ships is a lot, even for us. Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter studied the tactical display. The Council ships are using Formation 7. It is designed to focus all their firepower on a single target while protecting each other from attack. Very effective against normal opponents. But we are not normal opponents, Jake replied. Beth, open a channel to the Council fleet. Commander Beth Palmer activated the communication system. Channel open, Captain. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the UHS Dominion. Admiral Zyphtos, you are attacking a peaceful human colony. Withdraw your ships immediately. Admiral Zyphtos appeared on the main screen. He was a reptilian alien with green scales and yellow eyes. His uniform showed the medals and honors of a career spent conquering worlds for the Council. Captain Morrison, you will surrender your ship or watch as we destroy everything humans have built in this sector. You have 5 minutes to decide. Jake looked at his crew. They were scared but determined. Humans always fought harder when they were outnumbered. Admiral, you have made an error in judgment. You think quantity matters more than quality. You are about to learn otherwise. Jake made a decision that would change galactic history. Instead of fighting the Council fleet directly, he would use the Dominion's most unusual capability. Lisa, prepare to overload the secondary power systems. I want a subspace pulse that will temporarily disable every ship in this system. Including us? Lisa asked, surprised. Including us? How long will the blackout last? About 15 minutes for most ships. We can restore power faster because we designed our systems. Do it, Dr. Kane began the overload sequence. Energy from the Dominion's contained star flowed through secondary systems that were never meant to handle such power. Sparks flew from control panels as the ship prepared to do something no vessel had ever attempted. Pulse ready, Captain, Lisa announced. Beth, broadcast on all frequencies. Make sure everyone can hear this. Commander Palmer nodded. Broadcasting to all ships, Captain. Jake stood up and faced the communication screen. Behind him, the bridge of the Dominion showed the power and technology that humans had created. This message goes to every crew member on every ship in this system. I am Captain Jake Morrison, and I want you to listen carefully. The subspace pulse fired. Every ship in the system went dark. Engines stopped. Weapons powered down. Life support systems switched to emergency backup. In the silence of space, only Jake's voice could be heard on every ship's emergency communication system. My name is Jake Morrison, and I command the ship you call impossible. 3 years ago, the Council told humans we were too primitive to have powerful weapons. They said we were too young to understand the responsibilities of galactic citizenship. They were wrong. Jake looked directly into the camera. Humans do not want to conquer the galaxy. We want to protect it. The pirates you ignored, we stopped. The problems you called impossible, we solved. The Dominion was not built to destroy worlds. It was built to prove that every problem has a solution if you are willing to think differently. Around the system, alien crew members listened to Jake's words. Many of them were young officers who had joined their military forces to protect their people, not to attack innocent colonies. They began to question why they were here, attacking humans who had done nothing wrong. The council says we are dangerous because we built a powerful ship. But who is really dangerous? The humans who use their ship to protect colonies and stop pirates, or the council that sends 47 warships to attack a peaceful farming community? Commander Zara Thelvan was a young officer aboard the Centauri peacekeeper ship Star's Hope. She had joined the peacekeepers to help people, not to destroy colonies. As she listened to Jake's words, she made a decision that shocked everyone. When the ship's power came back online, Star's Hope broke formation and moved between the Dominion and the Council fleet. Commander Thelvan's voice came over the communication system. Admiral Zyphtos, I cannot follow these orders. The humans have done nothing wrong. I will not fire on innocent people. Admiral Zyphtos was furious. Commander Thelvan, returned to formation immediately. That is a direct order. I refuse, sir. My oath is to protect the innocent, not to attack them. 3 more ships broke formation and joined the Star's Hope. Then 5 more. Then 10. Young officers across the fleet were refusing to follow orders that they knew were wrong. Dr. Paul Foster, the Dominion's chief medical officer, monitored the communication channels. Captain, I am receiving reports from across the galaxy. Similar revolts are happening everywhere. Young officers are refusing to attack human targets. Jake smiled. Sometimes the most powerful weapon was not a gun or a missile. Sometimes it was an idea. The idea that things could be different. The idea that the strong should protect the weak, not exploit them. Admiral Zyphtos found himself commanding only 23 ships instead of 47. Half his fleet had mutinied. The Council's perfect formation was broken. Their overwhelming advantage was gone. Admiral, Jake said over the communication system, you have a choice. You can continue this attack and be remembered as the officer who started a civil war, or you can withdraw and be remembered as the one who helped prevent one. Admiral Zyphtos stared at the tactical display. His fleet was divided. His own officers were questioning his orders. The mission was a failure. All Council ships withdraw from this system. We will return to base and report to the Council. The remaining Council ships turned and left New Geneva, but Jake knew this was not over. The Council would not forgive what had happened here. They would try again with different ships and different officers. But something had changed in the galaxy. The idea that the Council was always right had been broken. Young officers had shown that they would stand up for what they believed was right, even if it meant disobeying orders. Jake looked at his crew. They had won this battle without firing a shot. They had turned the Council's own fleet against itself. It was the most human victory possible, winning by changing the rules of the game. 6 months after the Battle of New Geneva, the galaxy looked completely different. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the observation deck of the orbital station above Earth, watching as ships from dozens of species arrived for the first meeting of the Galactic Alliance. The old Council of Elders was gone, replaced by a democratic system where every species had an equal voice. The UHS Dominion floated nearby, no longer alone. 3 new ships hung in space beside it, the UHS Liberty, the UHS Justice, and the UHS Resolve. Each ship was built using the same philosophy as the Dominion, overwhelming power used for protection rather than conquest. Together, they formed the Alliance Defense Fleet. Dr. Lisa Kane had become the most famous engineer in the galaxy. Species from across known space sent their best scientists to study at the Human Engineering Corps. The Corps taught aliens humanity's approach to solving problems. When something seemed impossible, change the way you thought about it. The Valaxian delegation wants to commission 12 ships based on our design, Lisa told Jake, as they watched the arriving ships. The Centauri Republic has requested 15. Even the former Council species are asking for our help. Jake smiled. A year ago they wanted to destroy us. Now they want to learn from us. Admiral Ryan Torres joined them on the observation deck. His hair was grayer now, but his eyes were bright with satisfaction. Jake, I just received the final vote count from the Alliance Assembly. The former Council territories have been divided among local democratic governments. No single species will control more than 3 star systems. What about the military? Jake asked. The Alliance Defense Fleet will be commanded jointly by representatives from all major species, but the human ships will remain under human command. The other species insisted on that. They trust us to use power responsibly. Commander Beth Palmer appeared on Jake's communication device. Captain Morrison, we are receiving a priority message from the Rim territories. Admiral Chen wants to speak with you immediately. Jake activated the device. Admiral Linda Chen commanded the outermost human colonies, where space met the unknown regions beyond the galaxy's edge. Her face appeared on the screen and she looked worried. Jake, we have a problem. A big one. Something is moving in the dark space beyond the rim. Our deep space sensors are detecting massive energy signatures. Whatever it is destroying entire star systems. Pirates? Jake asked. No, this is something else. Something artificial. The energy patterns match no known technology. We think it might be an ancient artificial intelligence that has awakened. Dr. Kane leaned closer to the screen. How ancient? Possibly millions of years old. The destroyed systems show signs of complete matter conversion. Everything, planets, stars, asteroids, converted into raw energy and absorbed. Jake felt a chill. An enemy that could destroy star systems would make the Council look like a minor threat. How long before it reaches inhabited space? At current speed, 6 months. Maybe less if it accelerates. Admiral Torres looked grim. Our new alliance is still forming. We do not have time to build a proper defense fleet. We have the Dominion, Jake replied, and we have human ingenuity. We will find a way. News of the ancient threat spread quickly through the alliance. Former enemies worked together to share information and resources. The Altarian hegemony provided their most advanced sensors. The Zephyrian Corsairs, now reformed as legitimate security contractors, offered their knowledge of deep space navigation. Commander Zara Thelvon, who had become a hero for her actions at New Geneva, was now Admiral Thelvon of the Centauri Republic. She contacted Jake personally to offer her fleet's assistance. Captain Morrison, the Centauri fleet stands ready to help. We have 50 ships that can reach the Rim territories in 2 weeks. Thank you, Admiral, Jake replied. But I am not sure conventional ships can stop this enemy. We may need a different approach. Dr. Paul Foster brought Jake the latest intelligence reports from the Rim. Captain, the artificial intelligence has consumed 17 star systems in the last month. It is learning and adapting. Each attack is more efficient than the last. Jake studied the reports. The enemy was not just destroying civilizations, it was studying them, learning from them, becoming stronger. Traditional military tactics would not work against something that could adapt to any strategy. Lisa, could we modify the Dominion's weapon system to do more than just destroy targets? What do you have in mind? Lisa asked. Instead of focusing the star's energy into a destructive beam, could we use it to create something constructive? Maybe a way to communicate with this intelligence? Lisa thought for a moment. Theoretically, yes. We could modulate the energy output to carry complex information patterns. But why would we want to talk to something that destroys star systems? Because destroying it might not be possible, Jake replied. And understanding it might be the key to stopping it. The Dominion and its escort fleet traveled to the Rim territories, where they joined Admiral Chen's forces and ships from 12 Alliance species. It was the largest cooperative military effort in galactic history, with former enemies working side by side to face a common threat. When they reached the edge of known space, Jake could see the enemy in the distance. It was not a ship or a station. It was a moving field of dark energy that stretched across several light years. As they watched, it reached out and touched a star. The star flickered and died, its energy absorbed into the growing darkness. It is magnificent and terrifying, Admiral Chen said over the communication channel. How do we fight something like that? Jake had been thinking about this question for weeks. We do not fight it. We try to understand it. Beth, prepare the communication array. Lisa, modify the weapon system for information transmission instead of destruction. What are you going to say to it? Admiral Torres asked. I am going to do what humans do best, Jake replied. I am going to try to solve an impossible problem. The Dominion approached the edge of the dark energy field. Jake opened communication channels on every frequency known to galactic science. Then he added frequencies that humans had discovered, patterns that other species had never tried. Ancient intelligence. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Human Alliance Defense Fleet. We know you are old and powerful. We know you have been sleeping for millions of years. But we also know that consciousness seeks meaning, not just energy. We offer you something better than destroying star systems. We offer you knowledge, cooperation, and a chance to build instead of consume. For long minutes, there was no response. Then the dark energy field stopped moving. Slowly, carefully, a reply came back on frequencies that made the Dominion's instruments scream in protest. Young species. Interesting patterns. Why do you offer cooperation to one who consumes worlds? Jake smiled. They had made contact. Now came the hard part. Convincing an ancient artificial intelligence that there were better ways to exist than destroying everything it encountered. Because consumption without creation is meaningless, Jake replied. Because intelligence that destroys other intelligence diminishes itself. Because the universe is more interesting when it is full of different kinds of life and thought. The conversation that followed lasted 3 days. In the end, the ancient intelligence agreed to withdraw to uninhabited regions of space, where it could explore and create without harming others. In return, the Alliance would share their knowledge and discoveries, feeding the intelligence's need for new information without requiring the destruction of civilizations. Jake returned to Earth as the most famous human in the galaxy. The ship that had once been banned by the old council was now the symbol of the new alliance. But Jake knew that their greatest victory was not military. It was showing the galaxy that even the most impossible problems could be solved if you were willing to think differently. Dr. Kane's final log entry summed up the human achievement. Today we received construction requests for 73 ships of Dominion-class specifications from 41 different species. But the real victory is not the ships we built. It is the idea we shared, that there is always another way to solve a problem no matter how impossible it seems. The galaxy was safer now, protected by ships that had been designed not to conquer, but to defend. And at the center of it all was humanity's greatest contribution. The stubborn belief that every challenge could be overcome if you refused to accept that it was impossible.